guys, corn fed. This week we're tying some hexes. We got a hex hatch going on. For those of you who don't know what it is, you should learn because it is the largest mayfly that hatches, and we get a pretty good hatch of it here in town. They look like that. This is a dead dun that we found. This is one of the smaller versions. There's two different versions. Usually the small ones hatch before the big ones do. So give it a week or two and the big guys will be out, and they'll be out in big numbers. So this week we're tying a spinner, getting ready for the spinner fall. I tie this in a size 6 and a size 4. As you'll see, it's a huge mayfly. They bring up every fish in the river eats this. There's been guys that I know who catch walleye and sauger on them. Carp love them. Trout. Pretty much anything in the system will eat it just because it brings so much biomass. Look for slower, non-moving waters to get these guys going. They are in the nymph form, they're a burrower, so they like the sand and mud. So look for sandy flats, nowhere better than the lower Sun River and lower Missouri here. So check it out and get out on the water. Check, 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 check. Alright, Hexy time. This is a size 6 streamer hook. It's a big fly, so we tie it big. I'm using hopper yellow for thread.
It says we have 2 in stock and olive, but I don't have them in my...
And burying loots is going to be annoying while we're filming here. Now we're going to tie on tail using tailing fibers. Grab just a handful, well, not a handful, maybe like roughly 10 or so. And we're gonna make them a little bit longer than the shank of the hook. Tie it in. And then split them and fork the tail. Via figure 8.
Move them at all?
Alright, and then we're going to tie in some dyed yellow pheasant tail on the top.
Yep, thank you very much. Yep.
See, that's the new one.
Nice, huh? Holy smokes, look how long this fly is.
Then we're going to tie in a dubbing loop. Add our dubbing. And actually on this we're going to leave our thread behind, because that's what's going to tie in our back here. And then take your time, make a nice dubbing loop like always. Right now I'm using some blended yellow with UV cinnamon, but you can just use light yellow. Ice dub works really well for this pattern too. Okay, once we get our dubbing loop, and we just wrap forward. And then let her hang. Then we're going to flip over our pheasant tail, but first let's trim up some of this. Ribbit forward. tie it off. And then we can, once we got our dubbing loop tied off, we can cut him too. Now we're going to add our spinner wings. Now it doesn't matter if these lay completely flat, as long as they are pushed out the sides. All these are our caddis wing things in the large size, and they're cut in half. I found that these work really well for making silhouetted spinner flies, even for the smaller mayflies. So once I get those tied in, I'm just gonna trim the tags. And now I'm gonna add a little more bulk by tying in a McFly wing. I'm just gonna do it the same way. We're just gonna tie it in, flip it back, and crisscross. We'll just leave them kind of raw and crude right now, and when we're done we'll trim them to size. We're going to tie in a little high-vis head. We fish this during low light hours, so kind of need some visibility. I like using this pink color, sticks out pretty good for my eye in low light. And we're just going to put a little more dub on, dub a little head. Flip over our high-vis spot, tie him in. Then kind of work our wings out a little bit, get them into position, and then all we need to do is whip this guy off, and then do a little cleanup. Pull our wings, our McFly wings, to the same size as the underwing. And then kind of just trim up some of the loose fibers that are hanging around. Make sure that the body is nice and trim. Alright, and that's a finished Hexy time spinner. Works really well for the hex hatch. Fish it.